How to hold people accountable without being a threat. Yes, if you want people to take charge and you want them to take accountability for their actions, and yet you don't want to intimidate them, you don't want them to be scared, right? Then that's what I'm going to talk about. So watch this right until the end and listen very, very carefully. Hi, I'm Aastha Tatia, daughter of two rock-solid pillars, mother to a lovely daughter, wife of a humor king, an engineer, MBA, corporate executive turned anchor person, now an author and a happiness coach, helping leaders build deep connections and meaningful relationships in their organizations. If you're able to relate with this video, then do hit the like button. Also, subscribe to the channel if you've not done it already. I had a leader, join my masterclass, and he is struggling in his, workplace environment. And he said that I want to have great relationships with everybody around. However, my business demands me to hold people accountable. If I want good relations, I don't want to occur as a threat, intimidating, right? But when I hold them accountable, which I want to do, for their work, then that's what they don't like. And somewhere I become a threat for them, right? Now, the question here is, let's understand, context is very, very important. I think that's something we've spoken about a lot of times. Context is decisive. And your context gives you your behavior, your actions, your body language, how you're coming across to these people. Now, when you say, I want to hold them accountable, yes, by all means, you can't be doing it all alone, right? But if I want to have good relations, and if I hold them accountable, then I cannot have those good relations because they will feel I'm a threat. They'll be scared. Every time I come, they'll have their antennas up and they'll be like, oh my God, what's happening, right? And they don't like it, but I have to point out their mistakes. Those were his words. Now, when you are thinking this, when the context is, I'm supposed to do this, I have to hold them accountable, I have to point out the mistakes, then understand, your context is decisive. You're going to come from that place of, they need to understand, they need to be accountable. If they're not doing things the way they're supposed to be done, then, they have to pay for it, or they have to listen to this. Now, if they think I'm a threat, so be it. And somewhere you feel, oh God, don't have good relations, want to have good relations. How do I do that? So that is also playing, and this one belief in some form, some kind of form exists there, which is governing you. So both of these, if you see right now, the flavor is not a very empowering one. When you say, oh, I have to have good relations, but I don't have, people don't like it, and yet I cannot leave it. I have to point out their mistakes. Accountability means, they need to know that they've made a mistake, right? So you need to see, one, the belief that you're carrying, and what is the context with which you're approaching the whole situation. Yeah. If it is not an inspiring context for you, then that translates into the similar kind of energy and vibe for those people, right? And consider, it's not, accountability that people fear and they don't want, but it is your whole way of being that they don't like, because the threat is not taking charge. The threat is not, being accountable, but the threat is when what you do triggers their belief system. When what you do makes them feel, oh, I'm not good enough. When what you do and say and you point out and the way you do it makes them feel less, comes from a place of lack, right? So if you really want, it's fair enough. You can have good relations, and even after pointing out what needs to be done or holding them accountable, yes, you sure can. These are two sides of the same coin, I'd say, rather. They go hand in hand, of course. But how about, for an example, how about having a context that I want each of these people to perform at their peak, to work at their highest potential, and take charge. What would that mean for them? How about you let them know and you share with them and you sit down and create a context, a common context, and they are participating in it, in that context creation. And you say, how about you taking charge? What would that mean for you? Growth. What kind of a growth would you really want? And do you think taking charge, being accountable, would add up to that growth? Wow. What kind of a leader do you want to become? Do you think accountability is important there? Great. If this mistake happened, this was something which was not the right way, what happened? How can we do it differently now? It needs some kind of, intentionality on your part, right context, inspiring context, because this needs effort. It needs effort. We're not dealing with machines here who will be like, oh, instructions are there, there's a manual, they will operate just as per the manual. It's human beings with their own belief system, with their own emotions, right? So that's where, yes, for sure, you can have great relations, you can hold them accountable, you can get them to take charge, and yet not occur as a threat, not occur as intimidating for them, right? So if this makes sense, go ahead, hit the like button and subscribe to the channel if you've not done it already. I'll see you very soon in the next video. Take care. Bye-bye.